Word. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, we are live, we are live. So while everybody receives the link and gets in, let us prepare today's lessons. This will be exam number 2, 6/19/2025. And we're listening to the podcast simultaneously. So while you guys get in and I set up the module, I will be eating. We have the best of the best. Yeah, baby. Yeah. You want to go to my restaurant, don't you? Now, what the heck happened with the water? I don't know. But we'll fly off the handlebars. All these corporate structures are all fighting for the same thing, but as far as corporate America, they're all separate things. So as a driver, my perspective is one. As an engineer, my perspective is completely different. As a designer, my perspective is completely different. So now, as a brand ambassador, as an artist, as a rapper, as a singer, everything changes because if I'm in public, I'm going to be representing this platform everywhere that I go. But that doesn't have anything to do with me racing as a privateer, as an automotive engineer, as an investor in this technology, as well as designing my own designs, as well as teaching all of this to all of you guys. It's a completely different thing. So am I excited that ZR1, it's already started to take orders? Absolutely. It's a Corvette that does 233 miles an hour, that has over 1,000 horsepower for less than 200 grand. For a person that collects, that is invested, diversified portfolio in exotic vehicles, understands the bargain of the world of the century that the ZR1 is. As happy as I am about that, and as much commitment as I have to Team Chevrolet, Team General Motors, Team Cadillac, Team Corvette, Stingray, Z06, and all these other elements, I'm more excited about ZR1X. As a privateer, I want one for personal use. As an investor, I'm going to try to get as many of them as I can, and I'm willing to pay whatever it takes. I'm used to, for example, the Meckham auction, we just picked up a few F50s. There's not that many, but a lot have come onto the market, and I've been able to negotiate those. So I'm on a streak with F50s. So I don't want to lose that streak because there's no such thing as second place in technology. And the markets right now are hyper competitive in the same format. Now, at the same time, as an artist, let's dial it back. I just broke and established all new World Guinness records on Tuesday. Let's go over that because all of this details everything that I'm doing. And this is equally as important. 662 songs released in 2025 thus far. 92 albums. 23 masters released with 50 songs each. I still have July, August, September, October, November, December. I still have another 6 months. If I continue at this pace, I'm going to only break more records. So I have to proceed with caution as an artist. Great accomplishment, but just like Ryu, I'm going for the next championship. I'm moving on to the next fight. We continue. Everything dealing with music and entertainment is technology, inevitably. There are companies that we've established a bond with, people that are in our portfolios, our investments, which is BlackRock and Blackstone. But as of yesterday, we have another 20-something companies in the mix, including Vanguard, Fidelity, just as some honorable mentions, which we'll be able to disclose. Actually, I have the list here. Let me see if we can power this up, because this is all coming together. This is all part of it. So again, this is important because this is extremely important. You know, let me see if I can find. Okay, let me just give you a list. And this is important. And again, this is all organic because it's not that I planned it this way or intended for it to be this way. But let's have a conversation about it. So these are the new challenges. These are the new competitors. And you'll understand why we're doing the focus on micro sailor, micro strategy, and how we're going to bounce back to other aspects. Maybe we can hold off on this part. Let's go back to the engineering side, because I realize if I go into this, we're going to do the finals regardless. I just want to do the theory first. So I don't want to mix these two things. So let me hold off on this. I do have the list, and you guys can remind me just in case. Again, while I'm consuming and processing all these data points, we're going to be focusing on the theory side. So let me take a quick moment. Let me change this format. I'll open up the simulator in a second. Let's power up the grid. So let's go McLaren MPC 12. It's MPC 412. And let's go Camaro. And we'll go into the investment before I go into everything. So when you guys pull up the Camaro, we're going to go F-body and we're going to go 4th gen. Not that we cannot use any other generations, but again, this will all come together with the new investment. So in my pursuits, I'm engineering, I'm designing, in the middle of a worldwide tour. I'm planning, things are coming at me 24/7, right? I'm thinking about these designs, and I want to be able to build the prototypes for engineering for other investments, other things that I have going on. In that pursuit, as I'm doing research, I realize there is a extremely high demand for 8th generation Corvette components, and the quality is not there. Now, my background is Air Force, Space Force. So my understanding of technology and engineering is 1-2% in the world, and really 1%. So I knew automatically that I could build a much better component, much higher quality, and at a much greater profit than all of these companies. I could literally take all of these companies out of the frame because I only see a few designs doing what they're supposed to be doing, and the prices are ridiculous. I don't mind that, some components can be super duper expensive, right? If the quality is there, because you cannot argue with quality, you can't negotiate with quality. But the fact that these components are not what they should be was my biggest motivator. It was my biggest motivation to be able to think to myself, you know what? Why don't I focus on that investment? Now, we're going to do the theory of where we drew that conclusion. So on your terminals, please put everything in engineering mode. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes official test start time, 2 minutes. And once you have pulled up your 2 vehicles and you put them on the rig, I want you to add a few wild cards, okay? So give me 1 quick second. Let's add the, let's go NSX let's add an NSX. We need an MR2 as well. So with the NSX, we're going to start with NA1, NA2, and we'll move on to the following chassis, which I'm just going to open both because if I don't do it that way, I won't have both on the rig. So let's just load up the simulator. We'll put everything in the simulator. And again, before we get started, 5 pages, 5 paragraphs each, 5 words each sentence, 5 computer spaces in between show the work. Whether you write it, text it, PDF it, design it, whether you use AI, whatever it is, show the work. I don't care if it's in chicken scratch. If you submit the work and you show the work, you'll get credit for it. If you just submit everything perfectly formatted, I'm going to assume you use technology and you will get no credit for it. So on the rig, I'll go over everything. But again, for me, this is my comfort zone. Being able to do everything, flying off the handlebar. So please give me a SW21 MR2, and you guys will understand. We'll actually take notes together so that we can start showing it on the board so there's no excuse. There's no, oh, but this, but that. Now, I don't want to power the simulator by putting so many cars on here, but we still do need let's do an 8th generation Corvette as well, because it all comes together. Again, one moment could change your life or it could stay the same. I could look at these business opportunities or I could just not pay attention to them. It doesn't mean that it's a conflict of interest with any of my business partners or any endorsements or sponsorships. But at the end of the day, I have to create opportunities for myself. I have to be self-sustaining and everything. Every vehicle, let's put them on the rig. Use your top heading to make sure that every car is on the rig properly. We're not doing too much theory because we're going to go into technology immediately. Give you guys 1 second. Now, this is important because these are all formulas. And once you guys understand that, you'll be able to understand why everything that happened in the race on the weekend was so important. And that is because we were running in different classes. I already explained that in the previous class that we had, so I won't go too much into detail. But now, I'm going to organize everything by wheelbase. $99.6, 103.5, 107 with the 8th gen. Firebird is 101. So same thing with the Camaro, same car basically. So NSX 2nd gen is 103. So we can slide it back down. And McLaren MPC 412C, better known as the MP412C, is at 105. But this is the target vehicle. Why? Because McLaren did a phenomenal job throughout the race, and actually is the closest to 8th generation Corvette, which says a lot from an engineering standpoint. Very quickly, shout out to Team McLaren, and let's go and give you guys kind of like a briefing of how it was during the race. So we're running GT3 class, GT3R class, right? Many people believed we were driving the turbocharged version of the Gemini engine, the power plant. There's two different versions of Gemini. One version is the Z06 version, which is non-force induction, non-electrified hybrid power. Therefore, we're running against prototype class vehicles, but we're not turbocharged. We're not force induction. But there's 3-4 cars in front of us on the track. So think about positioning, first of all. Think about downforce. Think about aerodynamics. Think about gear ratios. These are all the things that we're handling. Plus, there's no communication. Because these races are international, all we're doing is using the live feed that people, personal fans of the culture, are putting up the links for their feed or their team. Mind you, the race is over 24 hours. Even if you had it broadcast, there's no way they're going to have teams of drivers, like teams of anchors talking about the race. So during this competition, I'm online and I'm on Chevrolet.com. So I'm on the actual Team Chevrolet forum. I'm over here asking engineering questions. People are just like playing around and having fun like we don't have a race to win. So now for the regular people that are watching, and especially my engineering students, I'm explaining to them the importance of what's happening. The suspension geometry is off, so the car is bouncing. But we learned from where the car was bouncing on the track. Because of that, we understood that cars like Aston Martin with the Valkyrie, Team Valkyrie did an amazing job, because I realized now that what they adjusted in the suspension was part of their strategy, was part of their team strategy. And they used it to their advantage. Regardless if Ferrari won or not, which Ferrari did a phenomenal job. Shout out to Team Ferrari too. And again, business partnerships in my portfolio on the automotive, exotic car sales, import, export, things like that. Not on the engineering side. So when we're on the racetrack, we're all friends, but we're competing for first place. This is not a Ferrari versus Aston Martin thing versus McLaren, etc. Even though we are on the same grid, we're not running in the same class. So we don't need to force what we're doing and damage our research because we're trying to be, faster than this driver or this team when we're a completely different team. Now, all the corrections, everything that we learned from the race, we saw it in real time being executed by Team McLaren. All the corrections that we were making, they made quicker and they made better. And I know, based on their results, we could have had a better design. We could have had a better strategy. There were a lot of things that we could have done differently. And all we can do is learn from it. So as I start looking at Team McLaren, I have to go back to this chassis because they're only on chassis number 4 or 5 as far as the actual tub that they used to build everything from the Speedtail to the Sabre to the Sonos. All these cars were at the auction at Meckham a few weeks ago. So I'm looking at it from a complete spectrum. I know the impact that the cars are having on the market because you can only buy these cars from me and a few of my friends. You can go through other people, but I doubt that they're going to get you a better deal than I would be able to. Again, all I ask is for the opportunity to earn your business. You want to buy an exotic car? Hit me up on my neck. 504-202-5915. Available 24/7. cyraxflex@gmail.com. Simple. Give me the opportunity to earn your business. Somebody gets you a deal, then I can't do anything about that. So I'm starting to look at aerodynamics. I'm starting to look at wing adjustments. We're burning the transmission. Again, we're bouncing. We were bouncing in the beginning of the track, turn 4, which everything happened on turn 4. The 296 GTB spun out turn 4. All the highlights were all turn 4. All the corrections McLaren made were right before turn 4. And I kept saying that shit. I don't know how late it was. It was so many hours of driving. I kept chiming in. Yo, track turn 4. Let's get him on turn 4. Anyway, I have to go back to the chassis to understand why is McLaren adjusting better than us. And it's because, as you can see here on the simulator, they have a structure very similar to ours. This is why we have the 8th generation Corvette on the simulator, because the data points are not going to. So let's start with why I decided to embark on this new business journey. Looking for parts for the Camaro, which I wanted to build a prototype of for my own personal company, even though I'm still engineering, designing for everybody else. I come across the Corvette and I say, wait, there might be an easier way to do this. When I start doing the research, again, all these companies are like the same companies, and all these products are of lower quality. So I'm like, how hard would it be for me to just incorporate my technology and build some really top of the line, high quality carbon composites for the C8? Who knows that chassis better than me? Very few people. Mind you, I'm still absorbing everything that's going on with all the marketing for ZR1X. All this happened. Again, I broke this World Guinness record. I'm doing my music stuff. So I go into artist mode for a minute, but then I have to dial everything back. Let's look at the data points. So I say, okay, that's $1 million idea. I'm going to invest in it. Now, everything is basically reverse engineering everything. Official test start time 2 minutes. So that was a quick review from the first exam. Now we're going to continue. We're going to move forward. Okay. Let's adjust everything so that we can go streamline. We are going to do microstrategy. We're going to do big data. We're going to do Michael J. Saylor. And we are going to begin with the market. So as I finish, please power up your Baja apps, open up your Google News, and stand by for further instructions. All right, I got one for y'all. This is good. This is gonna be a good one. That's gonna be dope. So we'll put that in there. Make sure we're up to date. 2 minutes. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I have an idea. So let's pick our. Let's see. This is funny, yo. All right. Okay, I see. Let's go from. No, no, can't do that. Hold on. Um, you know what? It has a lot to do with it, so we might as well do it. We're gonna start from MicroStrategy since it's gonna be part of the module. But you see how everything in technology is correlated, right? So let me power up this rig here, and we'll be all set to go. Let me see if we can add just a little background. Um, they always play these games, so let's see what we can do. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. At least we can keep this um, on the display so we don't have an issue. Okay. So 25, 35, baby. All right. So we are officially in the future now. I have my terminals ready. I think we are ready to roll. What do you guys think? You guys ready to rock and roll? Let's rock and roll, baby. First things first, make sure sound is good. Adjust so I don't have to raise my voice. And we're all set to go. As you all know, 5 pages, 5 paragraphs, 5 sentences each, 5 words each sentence minimum, 5 computer spaces in between. Show the work, minimum, 5 revisions. I don't care if it's chicken scratch, email a PDF. You're allowed to use your hyper scientific. You can use Copilot. You can use Siri, Sarah, Alexa, ChatGPT, Gemini, or any similar uh, project program, but you have to show the work. So if you're using artificial intelligence, show the entire computer code grid, or you will not get credit for it. I will assume you used all technology, you had no input, and you guys will fail. So this is your pathway to making $2 million a year to start. You have about 2 or 3 years to get ready. How would you like to make $2 million a year, 2 to 3 years from now? Easy money. It'd probably be more. It'd probably be like 3 or 4. The economy is good. It'd probably be like 4 million a year to start. And we will begin. We're gonna go retrospective, right? MicroStrategy buys 1,045 Bitcoin for $110.2 million. MicroStrategy Incorporated, doing business as strategy, bought 1,045 Bitcoin in the period between June 2nd and June 8th, according to a Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) filing published on Monday. The analytics software company reported that it paid an average of $105,426 per Bitcoin for a total of $110.2 million. Strategy now holds 582,000 Bitcoin, acquired at an average price of $70,086, or a total of 40.8 billion. Strategy stock gained 1.75% in the pre-market trade, going for $374.47 a share. Current standing is $369.03 a share. Average price of Bitcoin versus the US dollar in the red 0.06%, $104,622 at time of recording. Crypto group Bullish Global said to have filed for United States initial public offering. Bullish Global, a cryptocurrency exchange backed by billionaire Peter Thiel, has filed for United States initial public offering (IPO), the Financial Times reported, citing 2 people familiar with the situation. The company confidentially filed with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) in recent weeks, allowing it to advance its listing plans without publicly disclosing financial details until it moves closer to going public. Founded in 2021, Bullish Global has offices in Hong Kong, Singapore, New York, London, Frankfurt, Gibraltar, and the Cayman Islands. Its website says the company is a regulated and audited global cryptocurrency exchange with Tier 1 licenses. Again, this is inspirational because this is the direction that my companies are going in. I look forward to my first IPO very soon. Prediction within 36 to 48 months. The goal is really 16 to 24 months. Coinbase, United States set to lead as crypto outlook brightens in 2025. There's a misspelling there. They put an H by mistake. Coinbase is projecting a positive outlook for the crypto market in the second half of 2025, citing improved U.S. economic growth, rising corporate adoption, and advancing regulation, the company said in its latest monthly outlook. According to the report, roughly 228 public companies now hold Bitcoin, many leveraging new accounting rules to report crypto assets at fair value. Meanwhile, regulatory clarity is expanding, with stablecoin legislation advancing through Congress and a crypto market structure bill under consideration. These developments, Coinbase said, could cement the United States as a global crypto leader. Despite concerns about corporate debt backed crypto accumulation, Coinbase sees these risks as manageable. It expects Bitcoin to maintain its upward trend, while altcoin performance may hinge on individual factors. The company reiterated its forecast for new all time highs by late 2025. Ethereum stands in the red 0.179%, $2,517.10. MicroStrategy buys 10,100 Bitcoin for $1.05 billion, 616, 2025. MicroStrategy Incorporated, also known as Strategy, purchased 10,100 Bitcoin during the week of June 9th to June 15th, according to a filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) on Monday. The transaction involves spending approximately $1.05 billion, with an average purchase price of around $104,080 per Bitcoin, as detailed in a Form 8-K. The acquisition was funded through proceeds from the company's ongoing preferred stock offerings, including its STRK, STRF, and STRD at the market ATM programs. With this latest purchase, MicroStrategy now holds a total of 592,100 Bitcoin, acquired at an aggregate cost of 41.84 billion, resulting in an average price of $70,666 per Bitcoin. Blockchain platform Tron set to go public. The blockchain platform Tron is expected to go public through a deal with SRM Entertainment Incorporated, the Financial Times reported on Monday. Tron will invest up to $210 million in token assets into the entity, resulting from a reverse merger with SRM Entertainment, according to people familiar with the matter. Tron has ties with World Liberty Financial, a crypto company connected with the United States president. Last week, it announced the first minting of firm's USD1 stablecoin on the Tron's blockchain. The, The report also claimed that Tron's public offering is orchestrated by Dominari Securities, a New York based boutique investment bank with ties to Trump's sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. Truth Social rolls out Bitcoin Ethereum ETF. Truth Social has launched a new digital asset investment vehicle, the Truth Social Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, BT, a Nevada based trust that holds both Bitcoin and Ethereum. A filing of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, showed on Monday. According to the document, Yorkville America Digital LLC will sponsor the trust, which initially allocates its assets in a 3-to-1 ratio of Bitcoin to Ethereum, while shares are only issued and redeemed in blocks of 10,000 through authorized participants. All transactions will initially be cash based, with Forest DAX Incorporated acting as the liquidity provider. End quote. Shares will be offered to the public from time to time at varying prices that will reflect the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum or Ether and the trading price of the shares on New York Stock Exchange, ARCA Incorporated. New York Stock Exchange ticker symbol ARCA, ARCA, at the time of the offer, the filing read. United States Senate passes landmark stablecoin bill. The United States Senate passed its first major digital assets bill, the so called Genius Act, aimed at establishing a federal oversight system for U.S. dollar pegged stablecoins. The landmark bill, approved in a 68-30 vote, is seen as a major win for the crypto industry and will now head to the House. Its approval marks a shift from May, when Democrats who initially supported the legislation went against it due to worries over United States President Donald Trump expanding links to the digital assets industry. World Liberty Financial, a crypto project connected to Trump, previously launched a stablecoin named USD1, which is backed by the United States dollar. The act will put in place guardrails and pave the way for private entities to issue digital dollars with federal approval. Coinbase unveils payments for commerce platforms. American crypto exchange platform Coinbase Global Incorporated announced on Wednesday the launch of its payment service, Coinbase Payments, for e-commerce platforms. On its website, the company described Coinbase Payments as a stablecoin payment stack designed for commerce platforms, offering instant around the clock USDC payments. Coinbase Payments enables seamless USDC transactions for commerce platforms like Shopify, offering instant, secure stablecoin payments globally without the blockchain complexity. Coinbase Global Incorporated stands in the Green Ranger, 16.32%, $295.29 a share at time of recording. Okay, let's make sure we're up to date and let's move on. And we'll do the same. Let's go back. Let me see where we started here. Okay. Let's go back to. Give me one quick second. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to stay with tech news. That way we can have a new beginning point. Now we don't get confused. We don't get lost. And this is perfect because the NVIDIA speeches were on the 11th. So let's give it a second. Mm, okay. Let's start with Microsoft. Microsoft shares hit all-time high of $470.94 per share. Microsoft hit a fresh record high during Friday's trading session, marking its first peak since July 2024, with the company's market capitalization surpassing 3.5 trillion. The tech leader reclaimed its position as the world's most valuable company by market cap, surpassing Nvidia at 3.466 trillion, while Apple stands at 3.045 trillion. In a recent Bloomberg interview, Microsoft's chief executive officer, Satya Nadella, touted the company's strong partnership with AI startup OpenAI. The company's share jumped 0.70% to $470.94 at 1:37 p.m. Eastern Time. Year to date, Microsoft stocks added 11.56%. Microsoft stands in the Green Ranger 0.46%, $480.24 a share. Qualcomm to buy UK's AlphaWave for $2.4 billion. AlphaWave IP Group plc, a United Kingdom semiconductor company, said on Monday it will be bought by United States tech giant Qualcomm Incorporated for $2.4 billion after 2 months of negotiations. AlphaWave shareholders will receive 2.48 in cash for each share, representing a 96% premium over the stock's closing price before the deal talks became public. The deal still needs approval from shareholders and is expected to be completed in early 2026. According to its page, AlphaWave creates high-speed connection technology, which it licenses for use in data centers and artificial intelligence, both seen as key drivers for or of future industry growth. AlphaWave IP Group plc ORDGB stands in the red 1.07%, $175.80 a share. Qualcomm Incorporated stands in the red 0.54%, $153.63. NVIDIA CEO: AI will be infrastructure like electricity. NVIDIA Corporation CEO Jensen Huang said on Monday that artificial intelligence AI will become a fundamental infrastructure like electricity. In the last 10 years, AI has advanced 1 million times. That's extraordinary, he commented while speaking at the London Tech Week, calling this technology incredible and transformative. He further added that the United Kingdom needs more infrastructure for the development of AI. Nonetheless, with regard to the growth of this type of technology, the United Kingdom is in a Goldilocks circumstance, Huang stated, revealing that he will invest there. On his part, United Kingdom's Prime Minister Keir Starmer revealed that his country will invest an additional 1 billion euros to boost its compute power by 20 times. In this global race, we can be an AI maker, not an AI taker, he stated. Starmer also shared that Liquidity, an AI driven fintech direct lender, will position its headquarters for Europe in London. NVIDIA Corporation stands in the Green Ranger 0.94%, $145.48 a share. Bitcoin rises above 107,000 for first time since late May. Bitcoin started the week with gains surpassing 107,000 in over 10 days on Monday. The world's biggest cryptocurrency is up over 4% in a month chasing the all-time high of over 111,000 reached on May 22nd. Bitcoin added 1.49% at 6:47 a.m. Eastern Time, selling for 107,325.88 cents. Meanwhile, Ethereum grew by 1.21% and went on to sell for $2,540.985 of a penny. Alpha Wave skyrockets by 25% on Qualcomm deal. Alpha Wave, the London-based chip designer, saw its stock jump over 24% on Monday, following its acceptance of a 2.4 billion acquisition offer from American semiconductor leader Qualcomm. The San Diego-based company will offer 183 British pence, 2.48 for each AlphaWave share in cash. AlphaWave jumped 24.46% at 12:14 p.m. Eastern Time, selling for 185 and 30 cents. Year to date, the company stock added 119.45%. MicroStrategy buys 1,045 Bitcoin for 110.2 million. Okay, we already did that. Amazon to invest 20 billion in AI cloud projects in Pennsylvania. Apple unveils liquid glass design, opens AI to developers. Not bad. Apple reveals iOS 26 as first major redesign since 2013. Hold on. Apple just took the highlights here. Oh man, there's no way we're gonna get through this. All right. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it. It's so funny. Okay. Um, Give me one quick second. I'm just vetting all this. This is a lot, but it's nothing that we haven't covered. So, yo, this is just hilarious. Hilarious, hilarious. Hold on. All right, that's enough. That's enough of that. That's too funny, and I'm not going to do those modules. So let us continue with something fun before we go into the final countdown. All right, y'all ready? Let's go. PlayStation drops 9 free games you can download and play now by Mr. Lewis Parker on behalf of gamingbible.com. Please log on to gamingbible.com and thank you for sponsoring today's article. PlayStation users are being treated to 9 free games, and everyone is really mad about it. I'm not joking. PlayStation Plus has been going downhill for a while now. What started as a relatively affordable service with some mid games has somehow ballooned into a ridiculously unaffordable service with games that are still kind of meh. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Here are the 9 free games that are now available through PlayStation Plus Extra and PlayStation Plus Premium. As of today, FBC, Firebreak, Five Nights at Freddy's, Help Wanted 2, Battlefield 2024, The Hunter, Call of the Wild, A Euden Chronicle, 100 Heroes, We Love Katamari, Reroll, plus Royal Reverie, Train Sim, World 5, Endless Dungeon, and Deus Ex. Understandably, the users over on the R PlayStation Plus subreddit aren't too thrilled with what's on offer, and many are stating that they'll be jumping ship to Xbox Game Pass instead of renewing their PlayStation Plus subscription, genuinely considering getting an Xbox just for Game Pass because what the F is this? They gave Battlefields for PS Plus Essential like a year ago, commented user Skaki Sinatra. Xbox games Past subscribers are getting day one access to their AAA titles while we're getting this fill in the blank LMAO. What a joke, replied user Sono Fakat. Look, there are some good games on the list. A Eiyuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes, and Endless Dungeon are two that I can personally attest to being a lot of fun. But you know what Xbox Game Pass users were treated to over the last month? The Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Remastered, Doom, The Dark Ages, Clair Obscure, Expedition 33, and Metaphor, Re Fantasio, to name but a few. Considering how close these two services are in price, you gotta wonder what exactly Sony is playing at here. People are clearly starting to get sick of how much a difference in quality there is between PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass, and Sony just doesn't seem to care. Instead, they're opting to charge more for the service instead. Here's hoping people continue to vote with their wallets and ditch PlayStation Plus because consumers deserve better than this. Okay, that's a little gaming political, but I put it in there just for laughs so you guys can have something fun, right? I have two Shastas. One is frozen, unthawing. One was and the one that's unthawing is on fire, baby. All right, let's rock and roll, baby. Now I can shut this down, right? Because I don't have to worry about it. So let's start with micro strategy. You guys ready? Official test time 2 minutes. For chapters 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're getting it done, man. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys are the best. I believe in every single one of you guys. So when you guys go on to work for Meta, make $2-3 million, you want to buy me a coffee, let me show you how you could do that. This is all you got to do. First of all, hello. Oh, wait a minute, wrong thing. How the heck did I do this? Oh, there it is. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee when you graduate, this is how you do it, baby. It's the only way to do it. Come on. You could buy me some Starbucks. You could buy me some Beast Donald. You could buy me some Panera bread. You know what I mean? Some Olive Garden, some Red Lobster. You know what I'm saying? Get me something, man. All right. Micro strategy. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Let's stretch for a little bit. We have done exceptionally well. Oh, yeah. I need that. I need that. You know what I mean? All right, let's go. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Micro strategy. Micro Strategy Incorporated, doing business as strategy, is an American development company that provides business intelligence, mobile software, and cloud based services. Founded in 1989 by Michael J. Saylor, Sanju Bensai, and Thomas Spar, the firm develops software to analyze internal and external data in order to make business decisions and to develop mobile apps. In no, I apologize. It is a public company headquartered in Tysons Corner, Virginia, in the Washington metropolitan area. Its primary business analytics competitors include SAP AG, Business Objects, IBM Cognos, and Oracle Corporation's BI platform. Saylor is the executive chairman and from 1989 to 2022 was the CEO. I apologize. This is my allergies right here. Okay. Oh, sometimes it makes it worse. You want to mess with it more. All right. Since 2020, the company's securities are widely considered to be a Bitcoin proxy due to MicroStrategy's holdings of the cryptocurrency. The company's executive chairman has compared it to a Bitcoin spot leverage ETF, though it's not a regulated investment fund. As of December 2024, MicroStrategy was reported to own 423,650 bitcoins worth 42.43 billion and is the largest corporate holder of the asset. Now, we know that those figures have been adjusted. What is their revenue for 2024? 463.5 million. Net income was 1.167 billion. Total assets, United States, 25.844 billion. 92.5%, 447,470 Bitcoin. US 23.9 billion book value. Total equity 18.23 billion as of 2024. Number of employees 1,934. And the website is strategysoftware.com. Wow. Let's read a little bit about the start of the company. What do you guys think? Right? All right. We're going to start with Bitcoin purchases because what I can tell you from the footnotes, it's that, he secured a contract with DuPont, which basically, let's just go through the first part so that you guys understand better. Saylor started MicroStrategy in 1989 with a consulting contract from DuPont, which provided Saylor with $250,000 in startup capital and office space in Wilmington, Delaware. Saylor was soon joined by company co-founder Sanju Bansal, whom he had met while the two were students at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. The company produced software for data mining and business intelligence using nonlinear mathematics, an idea inspired by a course on systems dynamics theory that they took at MIT. So, very quickly, we have to do it. Why not? Let's give you guys some extra credit right here. Let's give you extra opportunity to be super successful. Of course, this will help you in your internships as you guys transition to corporate America. Even if you don't come work for my company, we still got love for you. Okay, we got your back. Complex systems. In mathematics and science, a nonlinear system or nonlinear system is a system in which the change of the output is not proportional to the change of the input. Nonlinear problems are of interest to engineers, biologists, physicists, mathematicians, and many other scientists, since most systems are inherently nonlinear in nature. Nonlinear dynamical systems describing changes in variables over time may appear chaotic, unpredictable, or counterintuitive, contrasting with much simpler linear systems. Typically, Typically, the behavior of a nonlinear system is described in mathematics by a nonlinear system of equations, which is a set of simultaneous equations in which the unknowns or unknown functions in the case of differential equations appear as variables of a polynomial of degree higher than 1 or in the argument of a function which is not a polynomial of degree 1. In other words, in a nonlinear system of equations, the equations to be solved cannot be written as a linear combination of the unknown variables or functions that appear in them. Systems can be defined as nonlinear regardless of whether known linear functions appear in the equations. In particular, a different equation is linear if it is linear in terms of the unknown function and its derivatives, even if nonlinear in terms of the other variables appearing in it. As nonlinear dynamical equations are difficult to solve, nonlinear systems are commonly approximated by linear equations, linearizations. This works well up to some accuracy and some range for the input values, but some interesting phenomena such as solitons, chaos, and singularities are hidden by linearizations. As it follows that some aspects of the dynamic behavior of a nonlinear system can appear to be counterintuitive, unpredictable, or even chaotic, although such chaotic behavior may resemble random behavior. It is in fact not random. For example, some aspects of the weather are seen to be chaotic, where simple changes in one part of the system produce complex effects throughout. This nonlinearity is one of the reasons why accurate long term forecasts are impossible with current technology. Some authors use the term nonlinear science for the study of nonlinear systems. This term is disputed by others. Using a term like nonlinear science is like referring to the bulk of zoology as the bulk of the study of non elephant animals. Stanislaw Yuam. Okay, so not bad, but let us continue. Who is Michael J. Saylor? Our business partner, of course. Come on now, this is like my brother right here. Shout out to you, Mr. Michael. Let's rock and roll. Michael J. Saylor, born February 4th, 1965, is an American entrepreneur and billionaire business executive. He is the executive chairman and co founder of MicroStrategy, a company that provides business intelligence, mobile software, and cloud based services. Saylor was MicroStrategy's chief executive officer from 1989 to 2022. In 2000, Saylor was charged by the SEC with fraudulently reporting MicroStrategy's financial results for the preceding 2 years. He later reached a settlement with the SEC for $350,000 in penalties and $8.3 million in personal disgorgement. Saylor is a Bitcoin advocate, and under Saylor MicroStrategy has spent billions of dollars to purchase over 500,000 Bitcoins in 2024. He paid a 40 million fine to settle a tax fraud suit. He authored the 2012 book The Mobile Wave: How Mobile Intelligence Will Change Everything. He is also the sole trustee of Saylor Academy, a provider of free online education. Early life and education. Saylor was born in Lincoln, Nebraska on February 4th, 1965, and spent his early years on various Air Force bases around the world, as his father was an Air Force Chief Master Sergeant. When Saylor was 11, the family settled in Fairborn, Ohio, near the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. In 1983, Saylor enrolled at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, on an Air Force Reserve Officers Training Corps ROTC full scholarship. He joined the Theta Delta Psi fraternity, through which he met his future co-founder of MicroStrategy, Sanju Benzai. Saylor double majored in aeronautical and astronautical engineering and history of science. This guy's just like me, but I'm the Bronx version, Harlem version. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jim Jones, Jada, and Fat Joe. Some people are Bronx Harlem hybrids. You know what I mean? A medical condition prevented him from becoming a pilot, and instead he got a job with a consulting firm, the Federal Group Incorporated, in 1987, where he focused on computer simulation modeling for a software integration company. In 1988, Saylor became an internal consultant at DuPont, where he developed computer models to help the company anticipate change in its key markets. The simulations predicted that there would be a recession in many of DuPont's major markets in 1990. As of 2016, Saylor had been granted 31 patents and had 9 additional applications under review. Now, isn't that awesome? Again, what we want to do is grab inspiration. This is a guy that's still going, 60 years old, so many patents, started this company, changed the strategy, went to Bitcoin, created a whole brand new ETF style fund, and just recently changed the name of the company and explained why he did it. Like he's giving you the game. Like this is how you do it. Much love and respect. So we spoke about business intelligence. What is business intelligence? Is it designing great products and services? Is it being in exciting industries or trades? Is it reintroducing older technology? Is it creating new technology? Who knows? Let's find out. Let's dig a little bit deeper into it. Okay. What is business intelligence? Business intelligence, BI, consists of strategies, methodologies, and technologies used by enterprises for data analysis and management of business information. Common functions of BI technologies include reporting, online analytical processing, analytics, dashboard development, data mining, process mining, complex event processing, business performance management, benchmarking, text mining, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. BI tools can handle large amounts of structured and sometimes unstructured data to help organizations identify, develop, and otherwise create new strategies and new strategic business opportunities. They aim to allow for the easy interpretation of these big data, identifying new opportunities, and implementing an effective strategy based on insights. Is assumed to potentially provide businesses with a competitive market advantage and long term stability and help them take strategic decisions. Business intelligence can be used by enterprises to support a wide range of business decisions ranging from operational to strategic. Basic operating decisions include product positioning or pricing. Strategic business decisions involve priorities, goals, and directions at the broadest level. In all cases, business intelligence is considered most effective when it combines data from the market in which a company operates, external data, with data from internal company sources, such as financial and operational information. When integrated, external and internal data provide a comprehensive view that creates intelligence not possible from any single data source alone. Among their many uses, business intelligence tools empower organizations to gain insight into new markets, to assess demand and suitably supply of products and services for different market segments, and to gauge the impact of marketing efforts. Business intelligence applications use data gathered from a data warehouse, DW, or from a data mart. And the concepts of business intelligence and data warehouse combine as BI-DW or as BIDW. A data warehouse contains a copy of analytical data that facilitates decision support. So you know what we can do? We can do data warehouse next because I'm very excited about nonlinear systems. Um, but let us continue, and we're gonna close out with big data. All right. So you guys stretch. We're doing excelente. We're good on time. And here we go. Big data primarily refers to data sets that are too large or complex to be dealt with by traditional data processing software. Data with many entries, rows, offer greater statistical power, while data with higher complexity, more attributes or columns, may lead to a higher false discovery rate. Big data analysis challenges include capturing data, data storage, data analysis, search, sharing, transfer, visualization, querying, updating, information privacy, and data source. Big data was originally associated with three key concepts: volume, variety, and velocity. The analysis of big data presents challenges in sampling and thus previously allowing for only observations and sampling. Thus, a fourth concept, veracity, refers to the quality or insightfulness of the data. Without sufficient investment in expertise for big data veracity, the volume and variety of data can produce costs and risks that exceed an organization's capacity to create and capture value from big data. Current usage of the term big data tends to refer to the use of predictive analytics, user behavior analytics, or certain other advanced data analytics methods that extract value from big data and seldom to a particular size of data set. There is little doubt that the quantities of data now available are indeed large, but that's not the most relevant characteristic of this new data ecosystem. Analysis of data sets can find new correlations to spot business trends, prevent diseases, combat crime, and so on. Scientists, business executives, medical practitioners, advertising, and governments alike regularly meet difficulties with large data sets in areas including internet searches, fintech, healthcare analytics, geographic information systems, urban informatics, and business informatics. Scientists encounter limitations in an e-science work, including meteorology, genomics, connectomics, complex physics simulation, biology, and environmental research. The size and number of available data sets have grown rapidly as data is collected by devices such as mobile devices, cheap and numerous information sensing, Internet of Things devices, aerial remote sensing equipment, software logs, cameras, microphones, radio frequency identification, RFID, readers, and wireless sensor networks. The world's technological per capita capacity to store information has roughly doubled every 40 months since the 1980s. As of 2012, every day 2.5 exabytes, 2.17 times 2 squared to the 60th power bytes of data are generated based on an IDC report prediction. The global data volume was predicted to grow exponentially from 4.4 zettabytes to 44 zettabytes between 2013 and 2020. By 2025, IDC predicts there will be 163 zettabytes of data. According to IDC, global spending on big data and business analytics (BDA) solutions is estimated to reach 215.7 billion in 2021. While Statista report the global big data market is forecasted to grow to 103 billion by 2027. In 2011, McKinsey and Company reported if US healthcare were to use big data creatively and effectively to drive efficiency and quality, the sector could create more than 300 billion in value every year. In the developed economies of Europe, government administrators could save more than 100 billion euros, 149 billion in operational efficiency improvements alone by using big data. And users of services enabled by personal location data could capture 600 billion in consumer surplus. One question for large enterprises is determining who should own big data initiatives that affect the entire organization. Relational database management systems and desktop statistical software packages used to visualize data often have difficulty processing and analyzing big data. The processing and analysis of big data may require massively parallel software running on tens, hundreds, or even thousands of servers. What qualifies as big data varies depending on the capabilities of those analyzing it and their tools. Furthermore, expanding capabilities make big data a moving target. For some organizations, facing hundreds of gigabytes of data for the first time may trigger a need to reconsider data management options. For others, it may take tens of hundreds of terabytes before data size becomes a significant consideration. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to finish there. We'll pick up with nonlinear systems. We'll do um, uh, data warehouse, and we'll continue with the definition of. But I want to thank you guys for getting it in today. I want to leave you guys with some words of inspiration. Give me 1 second. But I want to thank you for burning what we call the midnight oil and just grinding it out. Technology is the future, and technology is not easy. Neither will the future ever be, right? We have to do our best. For example, for me, outside of everything, being able to have a new concentration and bring a few $1 million to my family is something that I cannot overlook. So, what do I need to do? I need to put myself in a position of privilege and power. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, as an artist, I have this amazing catalog, and that's amazing. We're working on that 24/7. That's one small part of my portfolio. I'm diversified and invested in so many other things. We don't know where the home run is going to come from. We just know that in this portfolio, the home run will come. So, what am I going to do every day? Educate myself, train myself, discipline myself, work hard every single day. Keep up with the markets, keep up with technology, keep up with entertainment, keep up with music, keep up with fashion, keep up with everything that is moving is under my radar system, and it is a target. I have it locked in. If fashion is the new thing, I'm going through fashion. If entertainment is the new thing, I'm going through entertainment. If it's through movies, if it's through music, it doesn't matter. Why? Because technology brings everything together. So I own a technology company. This is what I do. Technology has changed. There's new data points, there's new modules to learn, new things to adapt and adjust to. What am I going to do? Better myself and educate myself. If you have the opportunity to, you know, basically better yourself by granting yourself an education, if you cannot afford to go to, a huge financial institution or educational institution, you got to do it yourself. And everybody here in this forum and in this community understands that we are the shakers and the movers. We make things happen. We're not complaining. We're not trying to change the system. We're making our own solutions. That's it. We don't focus on problems. We focus on solutions. So just a quick recap. You see Gemini files for IPO, right? Bullish Global files for IPO. Tron files for IPO. Fucking True Social rolls out a Bitcoin, Ethereum ETF. Like all these things, you need to be asking yourself, damn, what part and what role am I playing into this ecosphere, right? Into this market industry of trade. What can I do to be a part of this? Well, because we're in technology, we're involved in everything. So what's the big talk of the town? Bitcoin. What did the Senate just pass? They just passed this legislation for digital currencies and assets. So that's where I am. You know what I'm saying? You look at Tron, you could look at all my NFTs. All my NFTs are Bitcoin, Tron, Ethereum compatible, and anything else that flows from Ethereum. So this is a huge win for me, any way that you slice it. So this is news to me. I got to read this live and break that down during the finals exams. And you notice that not only did I work on newer designs, and I'm going to continue to engineer, but I worked on a design while I was preparing for the exam. And what are we doing? We're following the moves of the giants. What is Michael Saylor doing? Oh, he's doubling down on Bitcoin. That's where we need to be. Meta is worried about AI intelligence and wearable technology. We're in both of those spaces. I have everything that they don't have, and it's as simple as that. So we're always available to do business. As I let the world know, Crystal Delgado is my lawyer, Delgado Law Group. You want to negotiate? Hit me up on Connect. And if there's anything that I can help you with, inspiration, motivation, educational, here is a complete community where everybody's loved and accepted and respected for who they are. Whether you're a designer, engineer, you're trying to create content, you're an educator, you're using it for motivation or any other reason, everybody's welcome here. I have several hundred videos. There's so many engineering classes, and you just got to go through it, see what you like, see what you find. And we're only going to continue to do this. I made you guys a promise. I will show you how we start a company from nothing and take it to $1 trillion. And the whole process, I made it a point to where YouTube is always going to be for me. This is outside of me being an artist and any other investment and any other thing that you guys may see as far as marketing and promotion and whatever. This is the only thing that I have that is for me, that I can give back. This is my way of giving back to share a little bit of what God has given me. So anything else that you see, that's corporate America stuff. It has nothing to do with this. Why? Because I wanted everything to be like my podcast, my radio show, where this all started, conversation style. Talking, people understand each other. And this is what it's all about. So here you get to see a different part of my universe. It's not like I'm just rhymes and beats all day. I'm going to probably record an album. I'm going to probably engineer. I got a whole bunch of stuff to do. I'm still studying. The markets are going to open overseas in just a few hours. So if I'm getting up this early and putting in this work every single day, and I have 8,000 songs in my catalog, I could just chill, go on the beach, negotiate. But this is day one. And rule number one is we can only use everything that God has given us. And that's what we're doing every day. So if God's given us the blessing to be able to connect through technology, I learn from you guys learn from me, we all learn from each other. That's what it's all about. And I leave you with that. Have an amazing day today. May you conquer everything in your path. May everything that you touch turn into solid gold and beautiful and precious gemstones such as moissanite and laboratory grown diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and jades. Always remember to dream big because dreams come true. It happened to me, and I know for a fact it's going to happen to you. I love you guys. You are my daily inspiration. Future Tech Plus coming soon. Voltron R1, new episodes for the podcast, Venom R Motivation, all that stuff is coming. But you guys know that I'm on tour. I just broke some Guinness World Book of Records. They act like they don't know. Now they understand. I'm building a new team, and we coming in. Ryu, you know me, baby. I'm looking for the next challenge. You know what I mean? So, peace and blessings to everybody. Remember, I'm only an artist when I'm on stage. After that, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a family guy. I'm a businessman. And I got nothing but love and respect for everybody. I only want to be surrounded by God's people, all positivity. I've been through all the rainy storms in my life. And now these are the sunshine days. These are the golden days of my life. So shout out to all my family and friends, my peers, my colleagues, business partners, my children, everybody that I love, my fans, my haters. Everybody, I love all of you. Shout out to everybody that's close and dear to my heart. You all know who you are. The list is way too long for me to mention, but overall, I just want to say thank you. Sometimes we don't take out enough time to tell people that we appreciate. Thank you for just being a part of my life. Thank you for just being part of this journey. Thank you for being part of this movement. You know, I've been an artist since the 80s and 90s, and this is day one in my career. So I cannot wait as time progresses for the opportunity for me to share everything that I've been through in my career because it's possible. I'm 42 years old, baby. I rhyme like I'm fucking 17, B. I'm not gonna say younger than that, even though I was rapping younger than that. 17, I was serious. You know what I mean? And that kind of always stayed with me, man. So I made it a point to prove that you could be an artist and an entrepreneur. I followed all the legendary greats. You guys know how I feel about the legends. I'm not like your average artist. I love every artist from every era. I respect everybody that paved the way for me and everybody that's you know, in the sport and people that will be coming into the sport. Nobody has advocated for independent artists more than me. I have over 8,000 collaborations with all new producers and artists you never heard of from all parts of the world. That's another World Guinness record, but don't worry, I have thousands of them, thousands of records, thousands. I keep breaking them every day. Every time I record a new song is another record because nobody has the lead. Nobody has the lead. Simple as that. So I just want to say thank you. I'm very excited. I feel great. Um, it's an excellent accomplishment for the day to have this gathering of the minds to do these modules, to check the markets and learn little things about technology. Of course, when I'm reviewing everything, you know I'm going to be on my simulator rebuilding another Corvette, a E-Ray, a Stingray, a Z06, a ZR1, because I can't build ZR1X just yet. But we'll check the exotic car markets probably sometime next week. It depends how the weekend goes. But I want to thank you guys. I'm Jewish, so the sabbatical for me begins in a few hours. So I'll see you guys next week, but I'll try to sneak in a module here and there. How's that? Love you guys. Have an amazing day. And now it's time to go because I got more work to do. Markets are going to open for Friday, baby. But no business till Monday. No electronics. I'll try my best, God. I'll try my best. All right. Peace out.